Hey you guys, so today we are making non-vegan harissa butter bean dip. I'm gonna start off by sauteing or cooking your chopped up bacon in a cast iron skillet. I love using my cast iron skillet because it gives the bacon, just the right crispiness, burnt edges, but soft in the middle. Like, I love using my cast iron skillet for this. And I just thought it would be amazing to use bacon in this harissa recipe because the flavor of bacon just adds a lot of savory texture to any dish. Now we're going in and I'm chopping up our vegetables. I'm using garlic. I'm using a shallot. I'm using a half of a purple onion. If you don't have a shallot or if you don't have a purple onion, I'm sure you can use just a regular sweet onion, white onion. And I'm chopping it up very roughly. There's no method to my madness, just making sure that it's chopped up. So I'm going in and making sure that everything can be sauteed down pretty quickly, that they're just about the same size. Now I am chopping up the sun-dried tomatoes. These sun-dried tomatoes were in a jar with olive oil, and I think that it really adds to allows it to have some great flavor. So this is the extra virgin olive oil that I use in my stainless steel skillet now. I'm going to saute those onions, shallots, and garlic in my skillet. And you want to stir those veggies around in your skillet for about 2 to 3 minutes. Just making sure that they get soft, making sure that they are slightly transparent. Just make sure that you don't burn them. So you don't have to cook them too long, just making sure that they're soft and a little transparent. All right, next we're just going to add our sun-dried tomatoes. You cannot make this dish without sun-dried tomatoes. Now, whether you get them in the oil like I had them, or they were dried, or whatever they were, but you got to have some sun-dried tomatoes for this dish. It is superb. So I'm just showing you the jar of sun-dried tomatoes that I used. They're just some organic sun-dried tomatoes that are in olive oil. Okay, so we're going to stir that around for another 2 to 3 minutes. Just making sure that they cook down with the onions and the garlic and the shallots. Just keep stirring, making sure that nothing burns. All right, now's the time. Go ahead and add your butter beans to your skillet. And we're going to stir those around. These are drained butter beans, by the way, if I didn't mention that. So I drained them. They came in some type of liquid, but I drained them out. And I'm adding them directly to my skillet. And we're going to keep stirring around for another 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so now here comes the star of the show. This brand, Mina, this is their harissa sauce. It comes in mild, or you can get it in spicy. I chose the mild because I can pump up the spice with other things if I choose to. So I am adding 2.5 heaping teaspoons of this paste here. You can add as little or as much as you like, but like I said, this is the star of the show, so you can go ahead and add 2 full teaspoons of this if you so choose. I just wanted to have a little bit of it in there, but not too little, so that's why I added 2 heaping teaspoons of it, and I think that it gave it a great color and a great flavor. So you're just going to keep stirring that around for another couple of minutes. And now we're going to add our coconut milk. We are adding about 1.5 cups of coconut milk to this. And then we're going to also add, you'll see in a few seconds here, I'm going to add some vegetable broth. You can add chicken broth or, whatever you so choose. But I chose to use vegetable broth. And we're only going to add probably about 1/4 cup of vegetable broth. And this allows it to simmer for, quite a while without it drying out or becoming too pasty. You want it to be like a liquid at this point. All right, so off to the side here, y'all, I am making my bread. I've already let my bread kind of sit overnight, as you can see in this bowl, stainless steel bowl. I let it sit overnight for it's been a good 12 hours. And now I just floured the surface of my cutting board. And now I am just, forming it into a ball. I mean, that's really the only point of this portion of it is just to form it how you want it to be. I'm kind of like smashing it out a little bit with my hands, but you guys, this is not super technical. I'm folding it over just like this so that I can create a cute little ball, in my opinion. And the flour helps it to not stick. So as you can see, I'm trying to make it a cute little ball. And now I'm going to add some cornmeal to parchment paper, because the parchment paper is what we're going to put directly into our Dutch ovens. The cornmeal allows the bread to have a nice crust at the bottom. And after you do this, now you're going to add a clean kitchen towel over the top of your bread for 1 hour. After 1 hour, we're going to place our ball into our Dutch oven with the parchment paper, and we are going to let our bread cook covered for a good 40 minutes on 425. Now back to our harissa. We are going to continue to let this simmer until it becomes as thick as we want it. You can have your harissa to be as thick or as thin as you want, but make sure you season it up. So we're going to use our garlic powder. We're also going to use this mushroom seasoning that I love. It makes everything a little bit more savory. I'm using some rosemary and some oregano. All of the details of the amounts that I'm using will be in the description box below. And we are also going to use some real sea salt. Not too much, because you want to wait until you taste it. We are going to add that bacon at the end, so you don't want to put too much salt in at this point. So now you're just going to stir everything around and let it simmer. Okay, so now's the time. If you want to spice it up a little bit more, add your own crushed red pepper. You can add as much or as little as you choose. You know your tolerance for heat, but I love red pepper and I also love white pepper. So I'm going to add some ground up white pepper. And white pepper has a very distinct taste, so you got to taste it before you add it to your meal. But yeah, just keep stirring that all around. And I'm telling you, when I tell you that this had the perfect amount of heat to it, baby, listen. And now we can't do nothing without no smoked paprika. Smoked paprika go on everything. It still do. And it does. Yes, it does. Thank you. So I'm adding a lot of smoked paprika because I love it just that much. So we're just going to keep stirring this all around. As you can tell, it is getting slightly thicker. The more we stir, the more we add new seasonings. You can tell that it's thickening up. And if this is the consistency that you like, go ahead and stop here, but I'm going to add some cheese. Now, for my vegan brothers and sisters, you can use nutritional yeast. Just make sure it doesn't have the folic acid or the folate in there, because I heard that's not too good for us, y'all. So, but I am using some raw cheese that I'm grinding up myself. So just about that much, and that's going to add to the thickness of this dish. And it also gives it some great flavor. All right, and last but not least, we are going to add some kale to this. I chopped up some kale off to the side, and this is the last step because this is going to wilt down pretty fast. You don't want it to be, too crunchy. I mean, unless you do, if you do, that's your business. But I kind of like my kale to wilt down just a little bit. But, this is the amount that I like. I think I added a little bit more a little later on into my bowl. But, this is looking good to me. So we're just going to let this wilt down for another 2 to 3 minutes. And finally, we are adding our bacon. Ooh, everything tastes better with bacon. They ain't lying. This is amazing, y'all. You have got to try this. Add some bacon. The bacon that I'm using is maple bourbon bacon. Yes, you heard that right. Now it's time for us to take out our bread. Ooh, y'all, look at my bread. My bread, y'all. I made some bread again. I just never get over the fact that I know how to make bread. This is just blowing my mind. I felt like I need to be a grandmama to do this. Okay, so now I want y'all to hear how crispy this bread is. Wait till I cut into it. It's crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. So I'm touching it. I was supposed to wait for 30 minutes, but I couldn't wait. It's still a little bit warm, but listen. When I tell you I am a bread maker, I am a bread maker, y'all. I made this bread. Look at that. Just as soft and chewy on the inside. Smells like heaven in my house. But okay, y'all, this is my final look at my dinner here. This is amazing. I ate this bowl all by myself. This filled me up like nobody else. Tell me if y'all make it in the comment section. Bye.